President Trump also spoke to the World Economic Forum yesterday about a major pillar of his economic agenda, those new tariffs on the goods imported into this country. Now, one industry likely to see a major impact from the tariffs is the automobile industry. For MoneyWatch, Kelly O'Grady shows us how the cost could be passed on to you.
How many of these cars are we going to see an increase on?
Well, you're going to see it on that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. It's going to be every single car.
Tom Maioli is the owner of a new and used car dealership in New Jersey. With President Donald Trump threatening 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada, Maioli says drivers could see a big price jump.
How much of an increase could a consumer see?
You know, I think it's going to be a minimum of 5. It could be up to 15%.
And with higher prices for new cars, used ones will also spike because there would be more demand. Tariffs on Mexico and Canada will cause an increase as some of the biggest car brands, including Ford, GM, and Stellantis, have plants in these two neighboring countries. And even cars assembled here in the U.S. may see an increase. According to Maioli, more than half of parts, like batteries and motor components, are sourced elsewhere and could get slapped with a tariff, especially with the president also proposing a 10% tariff on China.
I think the manufacturer has no choice but to pass that along to the consumer because they need to drive profits.
How quickly does that get passed on to the consumer?
Anything that has not been shipped yet or is at the dock that's getting shipped into these ports that's ultimately going into a vehicle to be manufactured, it's immediate.
But that's not all. Repair parts and costs could go up too.
How is this going to impact parts that are coming from a place like China?
These brake pads come from China. Some of them come from Mexico. These brake pads could go up as much as 20%, which ultimately impact the cost to the consumer when they do that. If you're not buying, you're fixing. You got to keep the car on the road. You can't stop transportation. You have to get your family to work and to school.
Now, tariffs could bring manufacturing jobs to the U.S., but it's not something car companies can do overnight, taking as much as 18 to 24 months. Most in the auto industry, though, are hoping these threats are just a negotiating tactic.
Kelly, yesterday, the president also said he wants lower interest rates. So do you think that's setting up a stage for a fight with the Fed chair, Jerome Powell?
Oh, Gayle, it definitely
is. Right?
So it is on, especially because, remember, the Federal Reserve is traditionally separate from the White House. Now, the president has indicated a desire to opine on interest rates, but said he won't remove Chair Powell before the end of his term in 2026. But remember, this is tricky. Inflation is ticking back up. If we were to cut interest rates too quickly, that could fuel price growth and more spending, especially with these looming tariffs. And remember, we've got an interest rate decision next Wednesday, and we are widely expecting the Fed to hold rates steady.
Well, the president's been known to change his mind. He said he's not going to touch Powell before his term is up.
That's fair.
We'll see.
But,
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall. What your mom used to say, we shall see. Nice to have you.
Thanks.